This is me getting ready for the tears. What can I say, man? Nothing's changed with how I viewed how this market's going to go. There's two lines in the sand, with Bitcoin. There's two lines in the sand. What's the first line here? I didn't know where to draw this this retrace, and now that I'm with hindsight, it's like, all right, the all-time high from August, not that swing pattern failure in October. And you can see we got up to 618. And then what's the bottom line? It is 103. All right, SDS rap sheet just made $4K from a short. Yeah, I make more money from shorting crypto than I do from longing it. And why is that? Because I want it to go up, so that might cloud my judgment. But if I go against my clouded judgment and open a short on a cryptocurrency, that actually tends to work out in my favor. So the last, month or so, I have been only shorting crypto, except for Bitcoin. I'll long Bitcoin, but I've only been shorting crypto. So that doesn't, and if I lose, the awesome thing about shorting is if you lose on a trade, it goes up. The rest of your portfolio is going up most likely. So anyway, Downtober, yep, pretty much, Will Johnson. This October has not been fun, and can we get past, if it's not happening in Q4, all I want is just for us to get past Q4, because I am thoroughly convinced that Bitcoin is going to hit a new all-time high in 2026, and it still can happen in 2025. But I am absolutely convinced, and I can't wait for that moment, because that is at that moment the 4-year cycle bros will finally be broken free. Ever since learning the MAs, I'm making bank. Be careful, SDS. MAs, I've lost plenty of money trading off the MAs. Oh shoot, I don't want to. All right, vet chart looks terrible. I mean, what's new? Every chart looks terrible. Let's see VeChain here. Yeah, 0.1582. Pretty much. Hello, Anthony. Not Zcash. Oh, yeah, not Zcash. Yeah. Hello. Hope you're well. Thank you. Because the internet. Yeah, everything's horrible. Yep. What's making it more horrible is the fact that it's the fourth quarter, post-halving. So, good noon, Liza Yanzan. Been an interesting start to the day. Interesting, that's an interesting word. So I did just make a Bitcoin update. Here's the deal. Jerome Powell. So we had our rate cut yesterday, 25 basis points. And we had the ending of quantitative tightening. That's good. That's good for risk-on assets. But Jerome Powell got up and spoke, and somebody asked him, I didn't watch the speech, somebody asked him about the likelihood about the next Fed meeting and if there's going to be a rate cut that Fed meeting. And he spoke in hawkish terms, in unexpectedly hawkish terms, saying there's no guarantees that there's going to be a rate cut. According to the CME FedWatch tool, it's about a 68% chance. I believe there will be a rate cut in December, but of course Jerome Powell is going to speak like that, So short term, that's the market is pricing that in right now. And so what do we make of that? In my opinion, we're going down to my bottom line in the sand. Remember my bottom line, the 50-week moving average. Right now, that's $103,000. And I am of the mindset that we are going to hit that, to wick below it even. So we could go under $100,000. But we would not, that, and my hope and expectation is that we would not have a weekly close below the 50-week moving average. Daily closes are fine on weekly moving averages, but that we would not have a weekly close. I'm going to buy some spot Bitcoin for a scalp if and when we get to $103,000 Bitcoin. So Powell is just a twat. Whatever, he moves markets. Got a 2-hour-long interview and power's out. Yikes. Binance selling every minute on Bitcoin. Okay. Osgod made 13K on shorts. Somebody else on my other platform live stream said they made some money on shorts. Good for you. Yeah, I was just saying I do better. I do better on shorts than I do on longs. And it's because it's like against what my heart wants. There's something to that. Would be getting into any spot positions. Bitcoin at 103. I'll buy some Bitcoin for a scalp, maybe for a swing trade. Max Price on Twitter. What are your thoughts on him saying Bitcoin is about to crash and it's over? No. You got to understand what he's saying. He's not saying it's over. He's saying, yes, that Bitcoin is going to go down to like $70,000. But he is also of this mindset that it's going to rally pretty hard in 2026. The last chart I saw of him is like, yes, he thinks Bitcoin's going down to $70,000. Maybe he's right. But I've seen charts of his where he talks about the end of 2026, or not the end, just sometime in 2026. It's over Rover. Okay, Leroy. You said it again. All right. I have lines that I have drawn as to when I will agree with you or disagree with you. And so earlier this week, we got up to $116,000 Bitcoin. I was not celebrating. I was not saying bull runs back on because we were right at resistance. And the level that I'm looking at now is the 50-week moving average. If we have a weekly close below the 50-week moving average, it's 103. I'll agree with you. All right. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm just saying here's where I will agree with you or disagree with you. Hello from Cyprus, Costa Spawn. Thoughts on Aurora? It did well today. I wish I could short Aurora. Aurora did well? Really? Aurora's trash. Yeah, all right. It's up 60%. I mean, you look at the weekly chart, it's a blip. I mean, their tokenomics are some of the worst. So I don't think I can short this. If I could, I would do it in a heartbeat. What if we keep going down this Q4 and end up going up in 2026, 2027? I mean, guys, listen. I was hopeful for a bullish Q4 because Q4 is very bullish for especially post-halving. But like that doesn't mean the fact that we're not getting a bullish Q4 so far, we have 2 more months, does not mean, based on everything that I've been saying for the last 3 years, that does not mean that I am therefore going to be a bear for 2026. I was a bear going into 2025. And believe it or not, 2025 has been a pleasant surprise. Now, there were times I would get more excited than I am now for sure. But like, I was a bear heading into 2025. 2025 has really sucked, especially for altcoins. For Bitcoin, it's been good. 2026, just because everyone's saying it's supposed to be the bear market does not mean that it's going to be the bear market. 2025 was supposed to be the bull market. And I've been on that train for a really long time. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for the moment that Bitcoin hits a new all-time high in 2026, which will happen. And then all these people, man, people are going to be crying when that happens. All these people You know, what are they excited about? If it's over, what are they excited about? They're excited about Bitcoin going down 75% from its peak so that they can buy it and make a guaranteed 7x or something like that. And you know what? They're going to be on the sidelines, and they're going to be even more in despair than they are now. Go ahead, guys. Give up. Give up. Sell everything. And sell your Bitcoin too because it's over. And then wait for Bitcoin to go down 75% so you can buy again. Yeah, good luck with that. Thoughts on STOS? What's STOS? What do you think of Ethereum? Ethereum's right at support. It's actually a little bit below. I think it's going to be a wick. So, but it's very crucial that Ethereum holds this. Thank you, Leroy. STOS, I mean, the last few days have been bullish for STOS. What is this? Stratos? There's nothing about this that I'm like, oh yeah, now's the time. Lots of resistance above. Should I get some HEEHEE here, sub 800? Listen, when the time comes, I think HEEHEE is going to put in phenomenal returns. We're not anywhere near that for meme coins right now. I'm sorry to say. HEEHEE could go lower. You know, I really hope it does. Please go lower, so I can control the supply better. But who knows? Orange Crypto, thanks for the follow. Looking good. How's the family? Thank you, Eric. Family's good. Can't complain. Yeah. It seems the cycle has extended. No way Link stops at 18. It seems. All right, guys, I'm just going to reiterate everything that I've been talking about for years now. Everything that I've been talking about for years. Okay? We are in an environment that is entirely different than the environment, the macro environment we were in 2021 and in 2017. It is flipped. And it is flipped. We are in like bottom territory. Liquidity, business cycle, rates are high. In 2017, rates were low. In 2021, rates were low. We have $7.5 trillion sitting in money market funds and rates are coming down. You know, that's going to be less return in a rising inflation environment. Like there is going to be potentially incredible opportunity for risk on assets. I don't have a crystal ball, but for sure between now and the next halving, I am utterly convinced that we are going to experience true euphoria in the markets between now and the next halving. Thoroughly convinced of that. Just a matter of when. It could be 2026. Saw Crypto Crew University vid earlier. Total 2 on the weekly looks super bullish. Defo, don't see why you'd sell now. I'll check that out. I really respect that guy a lot. What do you think of XRP? XRP can go a lot lower. If history taught us anything, herd is always wrong. Amen, Cran Dave. The herd's always wrong. The herd was, 2025. Mega bull run. Thanks for that super chat, by the way. 2026 is the bear market. Write it down. All right, good luck with that. I hold on even all down. I'm waiting for the right time. You know, I have a bit of a different strategy, but you do you. I'm staying on the sidelines this year for alts, and to be honest, I believe in 2026, 2027. Okay. It's not over, Rover. Okay. 2026 will run much more than 2025. I wouldn't be surprised if the early part of 2026 was just us flushing out the 4-year halving cycle bros, who will go away and never come back. But 2026, why would it be the bear market? 2025 wasn't an epic bull run. Bullish divergences everywhere on the weekly. All right, let me look at the weekly. That sounds good. Bullish divergences. All right, RSI is going lower on the weekly. So we need to see higher RSI. I'm not, oh, you know what? Let's see April. No. Okay. I'm not quite seeing what you're seeing yet, but trust me. Yeah. I'm not going to be worried if Bitcoin does go to 103 like I'm saying. Are we out of the bull and in the bear market now? Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Bear market, embrace it with open hands. Everyone, come on. Here's question everything. Question everything. Why is it going to be why is it the bear market right now? Is it because it's Q4 of 2025 and things suck and 2026 is supposed to be the bear market? You need to give me more of a logical argument than just coming in here saying, oh, it's the bear market. Bitcoin below 108.3 right now. I said 103. 103 is my bottom line in the sand. So you don't think altcoins could go that much lower for this year and next year, so might as well hold? Oh, I'm not saying that. Listen, here's the deal. Altcoins can always go much lower because altcoins are trash. And I have zero interest in buying altcoins right now. Not zero. And I'm sorry to say that. All right. But at some time, I'm going to watch this Crypto Crew University. He says total 2 on the weekly looks super bullish. Okay. All right. Let's see it. I'm open to the possibility of buying altcoins, but I like to buy after the bottom. All right. And when's after the bottom? When we see bullish structure on altcoins. We're not seeing any bullish structure right now. So holding on to altcoins, you might continue to bleed. I can't promise you that we're at the bottom. It does seem like they can't really go all that much lower, but you never know with altcoins, man, because altcoins are garbage. Yeah, XRP doesn't look good right now. I'm getting questions with XRP. Maybe there's some hope for bullish structure. I'd love to see it put in another higher high. So it got up to what? 270. And now it's down to 247. But at one point it went down to 220. I don't even remember that. So, higher low, maybe could form a higher low, put in a higher high. Then I'd be more excited about XRP. Everything's fine. Yeah, there's a fire going on behind me. You know that meme, everything's fine. Do we see bull run at all? Oh, yeah. The question is when. Are you asking for 2026? Or sorry, are you asking for Q4 2025? Then probably not. Still, Bitcoin could put in an all-time high this quarter. But like the rotation of all of that would be a very much a disbelief rally. Thank you, Milad. That would be a huge disbelief rally. Nobody would believe in it, and so nobody would really touch altcoins until like long after new all-time high for Bitcoin. Troy, thanks for the follow. I appreciate your outlook. Thank you, Cardano to $4. KTA, just let us know when to buy some before Euphoria. Will do. Kita looks terrible. I don't know what to say. Can I short this? Is the question I'm asking myself right now. Everyone is screaming bear market now. What are your thoughts? Yeah, you probably already heard me give my thoughts on that. I hope XRP goes down more so I can buy more. All right. VeChain looks terrible. Everything looks terrible. Everything looks terrible. Bitcoin is below support of 108.3 right now. There is what's 108.3? Is that no? That's not the 200-day. I don't know what the 108.3 support is. And again, I believe that Bitcoin's going to go down to the 50-week moving average. That's at 103. XLR looks like a scam. Everything's a scam. 99% of crypto is a scam. Of course, XLR is a scam. It's just like, how much can they get you to believe these fake dreams that blockchain technology is going to change the world, which it still can, but like not after a major reckoning. Why would you buy Bitcoin now? I didn't say now. I said at 103. I think November and through January will be epic. That sounds like 4-year halving cycle logic. Who knows? Maybe. Down 70% on Prime. Is it cooked? Every altcoin chart looks cooked, except for maybe Ethereum. So Prime, I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say Bitcoin does hit a new all-time high in 2026, which I believe it will. It could hit it in 2025. If Ethereum goes into some kind of price discovery, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some really fantastic bargains that were going to be happening with different cryptos. But I wouldn't, there's no way I'm touching Prime at this moment. Absolutely not. And I'm sorry, you own it. Okay. So I don't know what to say. I'm not saying to hold. I'm not saying to sell. I'm definitely saying don't buy. Fear and greed index is at 32. I don't worry about fear and I don't pay attention to fear and greed index. Fear and greed index in January of 2022. In January of 2022, the fear and greed index got to 12. Bitcoin was $44,000. It went down to $15,400. So fear and greed index can remain in fear for a lot longer than people are comfortable. Won't matter any of this money. Crypto stocks 2026 will be taken over by 3i Atlas. I have no idea what you're talking about. No such thing as a bear market no more, just corrections. We'll see. I mean, no. I mean, not the typical 4-year halving cycle bear market. Yeah, I'm with you on that. November, December will be epic. Trust me, bro. Why do you sit there constantly getting asked stupid questions? I think people have been all right. I don't know. Where's the 50-week moving average at now? 103. Maximum pain is bear market. Is the real bull market now? Oh, I don't know what you're saying. I think it will go now to 92K and then go up from there. That would be really painful. That would be rough. So there's a CME gap at 92. Is that why you're saying that? I mean, I tend to, man, the 50-week moving average, I've talked about it enough. All right. The best altcoin is ETH. Right now, the best altcoin is ETH. Thought you like ETH. Yeah, sorry. So when I talk about altcoins, sure, there may be some exceptions. Did you sell all alt and buying at a better dip then? User 600, 2 weeks ago, I made a post on my X account saying that after that big liquidation wick, I set stop losses for my altcoins, and all of them hit. Except I decided to, I'm going to buy back into Doge. I just, if anyone's going to rip really hard, it wouldn't shock me if it was Dogecoin. So I bought back into Doge. For the ones that I sold, I just bought some stocks with it, and we'll see what happens. And then with my SUI, this might sound crazy, I bought more Rismus. I know that's a huge gamble, but one thing that's been holding up just fine recently is Rismus, because there's actually some hope, and I think it's going to happen, that some of these Christmas-themed meme coins will put in a nice rally in November, maybe into early December. What crypto is your favorite? Bitcoin. Q4? What about Q4, Michael? Quant is not trash. This is the first mention of quant in this live stream. Oh, because I said altcoins are trash. Quant's vaporware. I don't know if I'd call it trash, but it's vaporware. So XRP follows Bitcoin in as much as things follow Bitcoin. Sure. Should I rotate large losses in AVOX bought near year highs to Bitcoin? All right, for something like AVAX, that's a larger cap crypto, not financial advice. I'd hold on to it, but if Bitcoin loses $103,000 on a weekly close, I'd probably rotate. Hello, Alex. Is it weird that the trade deal made with China hasn't helped? We saw a pop earlier this week, but here's the thing, guys. The Federal Reserve rules everything. The Federal Reserve, no pun intended, trumps everything. It is the Federal Reserve, and everything else is secondarily. It's secondary. China and FOMC was priced in. Okay. You're short. Okay. Always been against the crowd. Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Mandy. Zcash and Arrow look good. Yeah, Zcash looks good. I'm assuming, those privacy coins, man. You don't mess with those. I don't ever bet for them or against them. They just seem to have a mind of their own. Arrow looks better than a lot of other altcoins. I did draw some resistance, a trend line that it would be amazing if it broke through. But I wouldn't be buying Arrow right now. Promotion of shortness. What are you talking about? Tay7, what are you talking about, man? Could Bitcoin go to 250K in 2026? That seems excessive. Tau still looking good. Yeah, I mean, there's a few that look good. Let me look at Tau. 413. All right, now it got rejected at a very key level. So, the fact that Tau is just ranging is way better than a lot of other cryptos. All right, Crow looks better than most alts as well. We'll see. 4-year cycle looks like done for. Welcome to the club. I will only buy altcoins when Jam says it's time to buy. All right. I'm buying heavy today. True Light. All right. Have you pulled any percentage out? I did mention that. Oh yeah, 3i is a comet that's heading towards us, and people are saying it's like a spaceship. Yeah, maybe. How about Shiba Inu? Ugh. SHIB's been a disaster this whole cycle, if we want to call it a cycle still. Looks terrible. I hate memes. I have a love-hate relationship with meme coins. Matthew has a disgustingly large bag of Rismus. What's your thoughts on Zcash? I think people are getting a little too excited about Zcash. But I thought that earlier too. Volumes declining, bearish divergences on the daily chart. At some point, this thing is going to go down. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole right now. Did XRP actually nearly flip Bitcoin in 2017, 2018? I don't think that actually happened. Yeah, I saw something about that. I don't think that was actually real. Who is it dumping? Binance. Was XRP the closest ever crypto to nearly reach Bitcoin market cap? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't really pay as much attention to altcoins in 2017, 2018. What makes you think altcoins will at one point be in euphoria, not in 2025? I mean, we've run out of time in 2025. The reason why I think altcoins will at some point be in euphoria is because that is the world we live in right now, where there is only euphoria and despair and very little in between. There will always be euphoria and despair, with very little in between. That's the currencies around the world, and in particular the dollar, because we got the dollar standard. Ever since the creation of the Federal Reserve, the depegging from gold, the introduction of quantitative easing, the great debasement of 2020, all of those things have made it even more wild. So yes, there will be a time when altcoins do many, many X's. When? Well, not in 2025. All right, Trixie, so you're an ISO person. 2026, we're not getting it this year. All right. Could ETH go to 8K next year? It could. Let's take it one step at a time. Like I'm saying, the first quarter of 2026 could be rough because of the capitulation of the 4-year cycle bros. All right, Maple. Chart looks better than other cryptos. It's a new crypto, so it's hard to really give any analysis on it. I mean, it is in a clear downtrend, but it's not going down as much as other cryptos. It's interesting. XDC, your thoughts? Maybe it's at a level where there's some support, but I have nothing exciting to say. Are you bullish for these next 2 months? I believe I can't answer that question yes or no. 2 lines in the sand with Bitcoin. We lose the bottom line, I'm a bear. We break the top line, I'm a bull. I believe we will break the top line. Nothing's changed with that. So when do we break that top line? And where's that top line? It's between 116 and 118. Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high. We'll go into a new all-time high. Maybe Ethereum will follow suit. So how is ETH expensive when they can't mint more? They can. There's like 1,300 new ETH minted per day. No altcoin season. I don't know what you're hearing. What can you tell to the HEEHEE investors? Is it dead? It's as dead as everything else is right now. It is no more dead than everything else is right now. When the time comes, HEEHEE will go much, much higher. There is literally nothing I can do aside from buying, robbing a bank and putting that into HEEHEE, like buying millions of dollars of HEEHEE so that I can be your exit liquidity. There's nothing I can do. We live in the ends of 2 extremes. You're right about that. Yep. How important is the trade deal with China to the crypto market? I'm going to say important, but I'm not, on a long and, short term important. Medium term or long term, Sailor gonna rug pull. Coach Ty, is that actually Ty? Yes, it is. Coach Ty quits. Coach Ty quits. I'm assuming you're joking, but if not, okay. I'm assuming, yeah. Solana price prediction. $300. The question, when, I like these levels to buy. One of the biggest lessons is you'll miss bottoms easier than tops. That's a good point. Yeah. I like that logic. ETH is, I think, it's either a perfect level to buy right now or it's going to lose support. One of the two. But ETH went lower last week, ETH went lower than its weekly candle 3 weeks ago. It went lower 2 weeks ago. It put it in a higher low last week, and here we are again. It's low, but it's higher than it was a few weeks ago, or the last 3 weeks. Is it best to park money in Bitcoin or ETH for now? New money, yeah. If you're looking to sell and get out of certain positions, I don't know. The Wirecoin by Virtuals. What is that? I don't see it on TradingView. Not going to look it up. Thoughts on Meme Core? Don't know anything about Meme Core. I see a market cap chart. All right, so whatever this is, it's pumping. If I'm looking at the right chart, I just don't know. You and Ski should go live together more often. Nah. I mean, sure. I'm sure you would love that. I mean, I really, really am in a position where, I need to. I make 10 cents every time I go live. There's for November and December. Every fourth quarter with my business, which is right now dormant, I'm able to make significant money. So I'm probably going to focus on that, which means I'll probably be going live less. If we go 92K, I buy Bitcoin. If we go 70K mid-current term, I go all in. That sounds about right. Why do they treat you like the HEEHEE dev? You have no control over the price. I mean, I created on Pump.Fund before anyone knew what Pump.Fund was. I have no control over the price. I have more control than other people. I can come in here in my live stream and tell you, oh man, he is going to $1 billion. It's going to 1000x. But I can't be like other people. I'm looking at the market and like there's a lot of things that need to happen before he would 100x. And I do believe from today's prices, there's going to be a day when he is a 100x. But like, what can you say to us holders, man? You know what would be amazing is if I created a meme coin and I was anonymous, and so I didn't have to deal with all that crap. Because like every day, it's like, what are you doing? What are you gonna do? What you gonna do, man? About he? You are losing me money. All right, yeah, everything else is losing you money too. Aster, goodbye now. Good luck. XRP is the most talked about crypto. Oh man, Trixie, please stop. Okay. Wow, I love Solana. All right. Pump Fun. The pumped up fun coin's been doing pretty well lately, but it's down. It's down 11% today. Looks like it got rejected at a what? 100-day moving, no, 50-day moving average. Pumped up fun. That coin always has potential because of how much money they make. That's so much better fundamentally than a lot of other cryptos. Even though I hate pumped up fun. Coach Ty commented, I quit. That means we are close to the bear market. Oh, whatever. He's not being serious. What do you think made Aurora pump today? No idea. None. I wish I could short it, but I know I can't. Ondo prediction. I made a video in early 2024, giving it like a $3-something price target, but like when? The chart, just like every other chart, the Ondo chart looks really bad. Did you already talk about XRP? Yeah, I did. I don't have anything exciting to say about it right now. Well, no, aside from like, there is potential. Actually, there is some potential with XRP. Short term. There's always potential with XRP, but short term is what I'm talking about. It might be ready to. It might actually be in an uptrend right now. No lives Wednesday anymore. Nah, yeah. AVAX is dying. Why? Everything looks like it's dying. AI Rising, thanks for the follow. Is AXGT still a valid coin? I haven't paid attention to AXGT development activity. I don't know. I'm assuming they haven't thrown in the towel. The chart, just like everything else, you're going to be surprised to hear me say this. The chart looks terrible. What? Yeah, the chart looks terrible. XRP is garbage. ICP looks like a really good buy at these levels. There may be a day when like everything just looks like, man, I wish I bought such and such crypto at this level, and I just don't know what to say, man. Like ICP at $2.89. That is right back. September 2023 bottom was right around there, but like ICP doesn't have good tokenomics. Other coins in privacy spike as well, like Zcash. Let me look at Monero. Monero seems to have a mind of its own. Monero looks pretty good still. Yeah, these privacy coins. Now, it certainly has not done what Zcash has done lately, but Monero outperforms Zcash in a major way. Thoughts on Algo and Bonk? Spoiler alert, the chart looks terrible for both. But let me look at Algorand and give some thoughts here. Yeah, the chart looks terrible. All right, it's a clear downtrend ever since July. Just very much in a downtrend. Putting in lower highs, lower lows. Is there some hope? Is there any hope that we are near a bottom with Algorand? Maybe. But I'm not catching a falling knife. Same deal with Bonk. Bonk looks worse than Algorand. H-bar is going to turn heads. TBH, what's your opinion? I like H-bar. I like H-bar fundamentally. And they're finally working, they're finally at a point where supply dilution can't really suppress it anymore. So there's that. XRP has no utility. AI rising, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the people who say XRP is going to change the world. I don't care about the people who say XRP is trash. I care about making gains when I buy XRP. That's all I care about. Virtual's been doing pretty well lately. Yeah, I mean, I have no faith, but if I was holding it, I'd just take some off the table right now. But sure, man, you want to get some virtual? I'm probably going to short this, actually. Yeah, I'm going to short this. I'm only saying stuff about XRP because I know it irritates the army. That's funny. Yeah, man, cards and kids and kicks, the chart looks terrible. I don't even know. Yeah, whatever chart looks terrible. all right, let's see. VeChain, already looked at VeChain. Guess what? The chart looks terrible. Good morning, man. What's going on? Tariffs in China kills us. Deal with China doesn't bring us up. FOMC. Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell, man. Now he's like, he's hinting that, he said there's no guarantee that they're going to cut rates in December. I think they're going to cut rates. I very much think they're going to cut rates. So then what happens when they cut rates? We'll see. Trump's going to make everything all right. Set some low buy prices and go enjoy the day. Yeah, sounds good. Would you buy VeChain at these prices? I'm not buying any altcoins right now. The only altcoin that I would consider buying is Ethereum. If you're looking for Hopium, I bet you can find it. Yeah. What about TARS AI or Injective? I'm sure, at some point with both of those, Injective does not look good. I feel like, what do you want me to say? Like, all right, I like Injective. I like TARS AI. I just, the charts, man. I wish you all the best. I wish you the best, user 430. Dogelon Mars, there we go. Oh, yeah. All right, Webb's in the house. What's up, Webb? Yeah, XRP is going to 1K. Going to 1K by December. Yeah, Pengu. Listen, I love Pengu. I think it has a lot of potential, but there's no denying this chart does not look good. What a shock, right? Now you could say, here's a little bit of hope. There is a descending wedge pattern you could draw on this. So descending wedges are bullish. All right, hey, descending wedges, they're bullish. Maybe there's some hope with Pengu. Some people are so stupid, LOL. Yeah. I literally sold one of my houses and put it all towards Pudgy Penguins. Oh, wow. What are you buying right now? Bitcoin or stocks? I'll buy stocks for sure. I mean, I'll buy Bitcoin at 103. Hey, Eric Miller, the Coin Show. Is alt season even possible? Eric, yes, but if we're talking about this, Q4 of 2025, I'll just recap of my perspective for the last 3 years is like, Listen, we need a much different environment that we're in right now for alt season to happen. You know, Q4. Sorry, what was I thinking? Oh, QT ending. That's a good next step, but there's still a lot. You know, I mean, we need rates bottomed out. We need, or, you know, maybe not rates bottomed out, because like we saw in the 90s, rates were pretty elevated and the stock market just blew off, you know, had to blow off top. So what I would love to see is I don't think this is going to come out on November 1st. I'd love to see the, oh my goodness, manufacturing report. If we got a good manufacturing report, I'd be very excited, but I don't know. Is that coming out? I'm assuming not, because of the government shutdown. Tron's a good crypto, man. I used to hate Tron big time. Now, listen, it started a downtrend just like everything else. But that's one that I do, you know, it's one of the few that hit a new all-time high. It's one of the few. All right, thoughts on TNXP stocks? I don't know what you mean by that. There's a Tonix Pharmaceuticals Holding Corp. Good advice. Don't buy alts at all-time lows. Web. Oh, Web. Hey, Web. Hey, how's that blow off top in Q4 looking? Let me turn the tables on you. You were adamant that we were going to peak in Q4. That we were going to have the peak of the bull run in Q4. All right, you come in here and you dish out your crap during my live streams and during when I go live with Devin. How's that Q4 looking for you, Web? Green face, smiley face, puke face emoji. Is this a good time to DCA? No. Thoughts of SUI? I like SUI. People use SUI. When the time comes, it'll be great to buy SUI. I'll probably buy some at $1.91. New leadership on the FOMC in May. Huge tailwind through 2026. We'll see. Yeah, you know, let's put some hopes in. I mean, listen, if that happens, sure, we can pump really hard, but I'd be afraid about what happens on the other side of that. We should be raising rates right now. But that's me as an Austrian economist, not as somebody who's talking about his short-term bags. In the last 14 days, Pudgy Penguins has signed a deal with Pixar and will be in the next Kung Fu Panda. Wow. All right. Thoughts on UPS? You're talking about UPS, the stock? The stock is very undervalued, but I don't know what else to say. Yeah, Eric, need a strong mind to be in this market. Yeah. Oh yeah, Web is still of this mindset that fourth quarter. Good luck, Web. Lido. LDO, that's right, LDO. All right, I guess it looks less terrible than other altcoins. That's all I can say about Lido. But it's not one that I'd be touching right now. Market bottom, what alts are good to hold from cycle bottom to cycle top for most gains? I'd go with ISOs. You know, I still have hope for Render. Honestly, probably a lot of like meme coins that you trust in, that they'll come back and that the team will pump them hard. I mean, look at some of these meme coins that were. I mean, look at Floki, for example. Floki just looked straight up dead. I don't even know the amount of X's that people got on Floki from the bear market bottom to the peak, but I'm sure it was massive. Newsflash, it's still Q4. Oh man. Oh, it's still Q4. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess let me this guy Webb, Chris, he always, every comment of his is just like is a jab, and then he acts all innocent like, "Oh, I was just saying yada yada yada." No, literally every comment of his is a jab, so can I also jab back? Or do I just have to be on the receiving end of that, you know? I'd rather jab back. I enjoy jabbing back. It's fun. All right, thoughts on Dash. So Dash, one of the few good-looking charts. Not seeing anything with volume. All right. Man, hey, you know what? There's no bearish divergences on the daily chart. I still am not in love with the idea of buying this, but seems like we range between 200-day and 50-day. Hopefully we can have a close above 200-day today. That would be nice. Let's see. I mean, 200 days, decent amount higher. We're at 108 for Bitcoin. I mean, we've had some daily closes below the 200-day moving average before, like last couple weeks. 109.2. All right. Great time to DCA. Don't listen. All right. I buy more SUI. Okay. Alts are going to do 3 to 8x by the end of December. Laughing while crying emoji. You know what, Webb? If that happens, I will never say another negative word to you. How about that? You know, I will, and then I will let you just jab all you want, and then I'll be like, you know what? Webb is my superior. I think you are out of your mind, batshit crazy for saying that alts are going to do 3 to 8x. But hey, you know what? If you're right, then we'll all be happy. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I'm buying Walmart stock. Hey, when we get a recession, Walmart is a great stock to own. How about XRP? I already talked about XRP a ton. Sorry. All right, Fartcoin. I'm sure Fartcoin looks like a disaster still. Yeah, there's nothing with Fartcoin that I can really give you in terms of excitement. You can see if I was able to show you this on my screen here, but TikTok's crying about things, you know. I'd be more excited about Fartcoin. There's a trend line that it's just not breaking. So you don't think it's time to DCA alts? I believe it is, because this market can turn around fast. All that I'm saying, the big thing that I'm saying is I prefer to not buy coins when they're on a downtrend. When it's just a clear, like they're just going down and down and down. I prefer to buy when we see some strength. Right now, we're not seeing any strength. Aurora's up nearly 80%. Good reason to not buy it. November, December is the best months for crypto. Mouths for crypto. October. So November and December last year were great months. November, December 2023 were great months. November, December 2022, if you bought, that was a great time to buy. November, December of 2021, post-halving year, was terrible. It was really, really bad. And that was the same, post-halving year. So, I mean, But should we go based off of that? Because, it's like, in 2017, November, December was a great time to buy. So we'll see. But 3 to 8x. I don't know, man. Bitcoin dominance looks strong. Does it? It's been kind of ranging for the last couple of weeks. DS says, I sold December 2024 at the market top. I sold too. I did not sell enough. I sold 40%. Sounds good. I appreciate you, but why do you go live on red days? Seems so draining. I'm committed, man. Why do I go live on red days? I'd rather do that than only go live on green days, I just want to go live. I don't love going live, honestly, but I have members on YouTube that, I'll go live for them every Tuesday and Thursday at least. So Walmart's closing their doors on the 1st. What do you mean by that? What's your thoughts on Solana? Let me look at the chart. Solana can do amazing things when things get really hot. Right now, so I'm curious to see. There's a key level from that April 7th bottom that if Solana holds it, that would be huge. We'll see though. And so that level, if it were to get down to that level today, it'd be $180. But it's a rising trend line, so that might not be a bad place to buy. Can you do Doge analysis? Doge 18.2. This is either a good place to buy or it's going to lose support. I have Doge. I still have my bag of Doge. I had stop losses set on everything else, but I have my Doge bag. So we'll see. Looks like Arrow's been holding strong. Yeah. So Arrow looks good, but like I said, I did look at Arrow's chart. It is right at resistance right now. So if it breaks through that, I'll be a lot more excited about Arrow. Helping people when they're down. Fartcoin, I already talked about Fartcoin, man. And I'll be more interested in it when we see an uptrend. Solana is going to be a big dog on a short chain one day. Okay. Is it normal to sell off when an ETF is approved? Yes. Because let me see if that's available. If that data is available. You got to remember when the ETFs are approved, I talked about this a couple days ago. That means, it's not available on the website I usually go to. That means that Grayscale is going to be dumping their bags. So you have to deal with the outworking of all of that, of Grayscale dumping their bags. And Grayscale has bags of every cryptocurrency that was approved the last, earlier this week. So it'll end up being a net positive for sure, but not at the very beginning. I thought the markets are always supposed to move up with rate cuts. I haven't been saying that. Rate cuts are not necessarily bullish. Rates bottoming out is very bullish. Rate cuts, though, why are they cutting rates? Is the question you have to ask yourself. And it may be that, they're cutting rates just because rates are high. But usually when they cut rates, it's because there's weakness in the market. So and it's hard to tell right now, especially with some economic reports that we're not getting, like unemployment. That's a big one. So Going live on red days is what the good, honest guys in crypto do. Thank you, Drumming Forever. How likely is ETH going to drop below 3,700 in the short term? Do you sense a potential bottom? Well, if Bitcoin does go to 103, which is what I'm calling for, then yeah, ETH would probably drop under 3,700. My big concern, my big hope would be that would just be a wick on the weekly candle and would be okay. So, yeah. Buy alts, set stop losses, and take profits. All right. All right, last thing I'm going to do here is look at Link. I've been live for my allotted time, and I'm hungry, and I want to eat. All right, Link. This is either a really good time to get some Link, or it's going to lose support. It's right at support. It's actually below support, but like I'm not worried about it on the daily. Let's see if we can hold this. Link looks better than a lot of other altcoins. It just, ranges a lot. So, okay. I'm going to be done. Have a good one.